Welcome to Backus Health Beat, your source for health news and information. In honor of National Patient Safety Awareness Week, we conclude our three-part video conversation with Dr. Peter Shea. Here, we talk about how hospitals can learn from other industries about staying safe and what happens in a safety huddle. Healthcare is very, very complex, but I know Backus is participating in an initiative. It's called High Reliability, or HRO, and I know its basics come from other industries like the airline industry, and I believe others where there are checklists and protocols, and they do various things to make sure that they're doing the right things at the right time. Can you explain HRO or high reliability in the context of healthcare and what it means to our patients?
Well, I think, as I mentioned, over the last decade or more, we've focused on the concept of patient safety. And unfortunately, in healthcare, we still have a continued level of what we consider harm to patients. And so a number of people have begun to look outside of the healthcare industry at other areas that would be considered high-risk, complex organizations where they've been able to actually perform at a very high level with an ultra-safe environment. And if you think about how an aircraft carrier crew works, a nuclear power plant, the commercial airline industry, they're all highly complex areas where you'd almost think inevitably there has to be some disaster that occurs. But somehow in these areas they've been able to move to a very high level of performance, and that's what's called a high reliability organization. I like the term high reliability organizing because it's a continuous process. You never become a high reliability organization. It's always that movement towards becoming a high reliability organization that is part of the process. And there's been a lot of good work identifying sort of the basic characteristics of these industries. Why are they ultra safe? And it really comes down to the concept of anticipating mistakes and preventing them, and then containment, because things happen. In a hospital, we could have a bus full of people in an accident, and we would stress our system. And how do we, in that situation, contain the potential problems? And so I think it's a balance between anticipating error and then being able to handle it when it happens. And I think there's been a number of examples now where people have taken these principles, applied them to healthcare, and had tremendous success.
In terms of what Backus is doing, I know that there's many steps in this process, but I know that Backus is participating in a statewide initiative, actually, to implement this locally. One of the real visible things that I've seen is actually in the picture behind you here in the studio, which is the concept of a daily huddle. Can you explain what a daily huddle is and why that's important?
I think a daily huddle is really an opportunity to bring the organization together, and we do this Monday through Friday. We've been doing it for about a month now, to really discuss what are the important patient safety issues that we currently are looking at. And so basically what we try to do is we have the leaders of all the major areas within the hospital come together. It's 15 minutes, as you can see from the picture. We have to stand up. It's a very tightly run and organized event. Most often it's run by the CEO of the hospital, which shows, I think, a real commitment to patient safety. But basically, we try to highlight a safety moment. We look at our important data around safety, and then we basically go around the room and say, what are the safety issues that have concerned you for the last 24 hours, and what do you anticipate in the next 24 hours that may be an issue?
That's great. I mean, a lot really is being done with patient safety, both here and across the nation, and we really appreciate having you here today to talk to us about safety. And really, we wish everybody, we hope everybody has a really safe National Patient Safety Awareness Week, but also to practice safety year-round. Right. And thank you very much, Dr. Shea, for joining us.
It's our #1 priority. Thank you for having me.